Look, we all know that the offseason is a big part of the NBA year when players makes moves and all this kind of stuff. And the one player everyone seems to want to try and figure out is the one guy we can't figure out, and that's Kawhi Leonard. Here was Kawhi Leonard talking about all the endless speculation about what he's going to be doing this offseason. Okay, that wasn't him at all. But nobody knows what Kawhi Leonard is going to do, except a good friend of yours that you weren't teammates with, Ryan Hot Take Hollins, believes that he has figured out what's going to happen with Kawhi. Quentin, I just want you to let this hot take from Ryan just wash all over you as to why what happens Sunday will determine everything going forward.
This is the type of game that makes Kawhi Leonard leave. You look around, Golden State is injured, hurt. You're up, you're dominating, and you can't put your foot on the necks of the Golden State Warriors. Kawhi Leonard can go do that. He can go be himself somewhere else. He can go defend and go get 30 points, and tonight he joins the clubs of LeBron James and Kobe Bryant. I don't need Toronto for that. We're healthy. We're good. There's no reason that Toronto doesn't win that game. And Kawhi Leonard has done everything he can possibly do through double teams in these last two games, and, in fact, the entire playoff run. These are the games that send Kawhi Leonard to L.A.
Okay, so will Kawhi be looking for a fresh look this offseason? Maybe in L.A.? A fresh look is brought to you by Sport Clips. Own Cut the Weight. Download the new Sport Clips haircut app and check in. So, Quentin, we have two things we need to separate here. First and foremost, your take on your friend Hot Take's hot take.
First of all, this is the type of ridiculousness you deal with when you are dealing with one Ryan Hollins.
Thank you. Thank you, Q.
He will give you at least bare minimum one just, what? Like, what did you just say? Like, first of all, Kawhi, I think everybody knows and everybody has been expecting that Kawhi is out of there regardless of whether they win the entire championship. That's just even more means for him to leave free and clear and do whatever he wants. The one thing that nobody really knows what exactly he's going to do is where he's going to go. I personally believe it will be L.A. to the Clippers, not the Lakers. And I think that nothing that happens in this playoffs, nothing that has happened all season, nothing that happens in this final series is going to really change that. I think he has his plan, and he's had it all along.
And I'd agree with that, and I think that's a lot of what we've heard. The only reason Ryan's sound became interesting to me because – remember, we're just off the heels of in the Western Conference semifinals where before that, when Golden State went up against Houston.
Yes.
And we saw that backbreaker game 6 where KD's out, Houston feels like this is their chance, and they fall short. And now we see that organization is basically saying everything's on the table. We got to figure out how to beat these dudes. It's upheaval there. So now you fast forward to this, and all of a sudden you have Kawhi Leonard, who Ramona Shelburne went on ESPN Radio in L.A. and said, you know, if they won the NBA Finals, did Toronto, it would be very hard for Kawhi to leave, but still, ultimately, that might have been his goal. And I think if I'm going to try and give Ryan any credit for reason at all, which I know is probably a wild mistake.
We appreciate you going down this road.
On my part is all that game did was get them one step closer to losing the NBA Finals and making it, like Q just said, a lot easier for him to walk and say, all right, you know what? Did what I could here. We got them over a hump that they hadn't been before in Toronto. I'm going to Los Angeles.
Would the only chance that he stays be if they won?
No, I think that gives him an easier way out.
I'm with you.
I delivered something nobody. Even him getting them to the finals.
Yeah,
he's come. I said this yesterday. It's almost unfair because I like DeMar. I think he's a great guy. He did great things for them. But in less than 10 months, he's erased all memory of DeMar DeRozan.
Right.
Like you would think is what he meant to that city is he was wearing the Canada. He wanted to be there. One of the only superstars who was really living up to wanting to be there and trying to bring them to this place. That man came in 10 months and no talk of DeMar or nothing, and it's sad.
And the amazing
Kyle
thing
Lowry
is,
replaced all the buddy pictures in his house with pics of him and Kawhi now, too. It's messed up.
talking to Quentin Richardson, 13-year NBA vet. And here's the shame of it is when Kawhi leaves and we all think he's going to leave, Ryan Hollins is going to say, see, I was right.
Exactly. That's the worst part of this.
Game 2.
to speak to what he said, it's kind of like Talladega Nights when Ricky Bobby went home and his wife switched his best friend's pictures. He's in them all the family pictures. It's Kawhi now.
Right there, it is. It's Kawhi. DeMar who? I
have
stopped
to
returning
say,
those calls months ago.
I had to say, of all the things I was thinking to hear from Quentin Richardson, a Talladega Nights
was a
reference
nice
was
one.
not that. That's
Well
a great
done.
call.
Dynamic.
Well
I
done.
appreciate the range, but I agree with you. Look, if they win, he can. Listen, there's not an Eagle that was on that team that beat the Patriots that'll ever pay for a drink in Philadelphia the rest of their lives. They delivered the championship. If he delivers a championship, he could leave tomorrow and they'd still say, "We love you, Kawhi.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing this to
Tim
us."
Hortons for life. Ain't no doubt about that.
Exactly.
So we all think he's leaving. Are you? He's leaving. You sure Kevin Durant is leaving Golden State?
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. I think Kevin Durant's situation is a little bit different. It could go a lot of different ways, and he's not tipping his hand at all either. I think it's a lot of talk out there, a lot of rumors, and a lot of opinions, but he hasn't said anything. I think he's been real tight-lipped about everything, and I think he definitely has his plan on what he wants to do. And he's kind of in the same situation. He's delivered a couple finals, a couple MVPs, so he's really in a scenario where he can do what he wants to do.